10th graders, it is time for another class. Here we go. I'm going to show you something crazy really fast before we start. Okay, so this is a screen recording app. So right now, this app is displaying not only like the logo, it's also displaying the recording status, and it also is displaying the actual recording. So you can see that my screen is being recorded, and then here's displaying the recording of the screen being recorded, and then here's displaying the recording of the screen, the screen being recorded. Here's the recording of the recording, all the way down into the black hole. Just kidding, it's not a black hole, but it keeps going for a long time, and it's kind of crazy. You can see that the further in that you go, the more the more the little cursors delay, because it takes time for the processor and the frame rate to catch up. Kind of crazy. That's kind of physics. Yeah, but not our topic of physics today. Now, the majority of this hour, it's not going to be a full hour video, but the majority of this class is just going to be some announcements and not too much instructional material, because the instructional material is going to come at 2 o'clock today. Let me fix this window really fast. There we go. The instructional material is going to come more at 2 o'clock today with the solution video of the worksheet that I'm going to give you. But I want to say a few things before I give you the assignment. Now, we're learning online, and we have a ton of resources, and Google Classroom is free. And right now, I think Google Classroom is trying to catch up globally and kind of allocate room on their servers, because there's so many schools moving over to Google Classroom. So some of you, I know, with some teachers, have had trouble uploading things. I think that'll be temporary, because Google just needs to move around some data to make room on the Google Classroom areas of the servers, whatever that looks like. All that said, like, you have the opportunity to learn a lot through this online system. As I told you in the last video, potentially more. But here's the problem. One of the only problems with online learning. I think there's a lot of advantages over in-person learning online, but one of the disadvantages is it's hard. I cannot give you a Quizlet and watch you to make sure that everyone is looking at their own paper. And that's difficult as a teacher, because an important part of teaching is evaluation. And the way I evaluate you, is with Quizlets. Now, if I give you a a Google form. So this bad pen, FORM. If I give you a Google form, like, yes, you can fill it out. I could give you a quiz through a Google form, but I don't think I'll do that very often, because it's just too easy to cheat. And I'm not trying to accuse anyone specifically of cheating, but that's the problem with teaching online, is evaluation is harder. And if I taught like an English class, evaluation it'd be easier it'd be easier in some ways, because everyone needs to have a different essay. But in a physics or mathematics related class, all the answers should be the same, or basically the same, at least the same logic. Or sometimes you can give the same answer, but in a different way, like scientific notation or standard notation or whatever. But for that reason, it's really hard to evaluate online. So I want to tell you guys something. I'm going to try to not talk really long for this video, because we don't have, I'd rather you spend some time this morning, hopefully even before noon, you can be working on the worksheet. I think maybe before 11:30. We'll see how long this video takes. Now, I want to say something. This learning that how do I say this? I'm going to say this. If you want to learn through this online system and through my videos, you will learn, and I believe you'll learn a lot. But if you don't want to, then you're going to be the person who waits till 2 o'clock every day, every time we have class, and then copy my process and then turn in the worksheet after copying my process and my answers. Now, I hope that's not many of you. And if you do that, I cannot stop you. I don't have control in that way. I mean, when we have exams, I don't know when we'll be back. It maybe will be a long time before we can be back in person. But when we have exams, I don't want to say if, but I almost said if we have exams. when we have exams, hopefully, I mean that will show who's been doing the worksheets themselves before 2 o'clock and who waits till 2 o'clock every day because they don't want to work. Um, if you have a habit of working really hard at everything you do, your life is going to look so beautiful for years and years, the rest of your life. I believe that just people who understand hard work and the value of that just experience so much joy in life. Because if you're not working hard, then life is not satisfying. Think about that. For years and years, wow, I didn't I didn't plan to talk to you guys about this, but I'm going to say W for our work discussion. Um, for years and years, majority of my life, I subconsciously like tried to find the easy route to do things, and I think that's human nature to find the easy route that makes us not have to work hard. Watch this. I'm gonna make this beautiful for you guys. So then you're gonna remember this conversation because the W is now. Look at that. I am such a good artist. Wow. There's a beautiful W. ORK. Now I don't want to waste too much time on this topic, but I think it's worth talking about. People who find the easy route in life and always look for the easy route are the people that are not the GDP. They're not the GDP producers. If you don't know what GDP is, look it up. Gross domestic product. They're not the people who really contribute to a country. And also the people who don't work hard. You know that what I'm going to say is true. People who don't work hard are not happy. Think about that. If you're not a hard worker, your life is not happy. I do not know even one lazy person who's happy. Think about that. But now, when you think about people who work hard, think of someone in your class who works really hard. You guys, the person you're thinking of is probably happy because there's a direct correlation between how hard we work at anything we do, be it school, sports, relationships, whatever, and happiness. There's a direct correlation there. Okay, enough said about that. Didn't plan on telling you that, but there it is. First thing I want to talk about is your photo orientations. So I'm just going to say a P for this. When you upload your assignments every class, I was talking to Ediberto about this, and I think other people in this class are probably confused. So let me clarify. Let's say that this is your assignment, and the words are like that. You need to upload it in this orientation. Okay. If you have an upright paper and then you upload it like that, so the words are sideways. I was nice to you guys and I gave you credit on the first assignment online. But in the future, if you upload an assignment and the words are sideways, so then I have to flip it in my computer. The thing is, I have 138 students right now. Hopefully that number will stay the same. I think it will. And I don't have time to be flipping 138 assignments every day, or every 200, or no, that would be like, wow. If you do that per week, I have an average of like 3 classes per week. So 138 times 3.
The answer is 414.
So not everyone submits it like that, but if everyone submitted it the bad way, then I would be flipping 400 and whatever. Google, what did you say?
Sure, the answer is 414.
Thank you. I'd be flipping 414 pages, and that is the worst use of a teacher's time. I'm telling you what, it's the worst use of teacher's time. So if for some reason I give you a worksheet that is originally like this, you'll be working in your notebooks. So if your notebook is like this, then you want to submit it like that. So if your notebook is landscape by nature, then what you don't want is to submit it like this one on the right. Now this is the bad version. All right, I've said enough about that. We all understand. Next point. I want to talk to you about screenshots. Okay, so some of you over this week, I'm sure have had some tech errors. I'm going to say S. Screenshot. Some of you have had technology errors and you cannot upload photos or documents. Obviously, you can still get points, but if you have a technology error, you need to take a screenshot. And take a screenshot when you get the error and send it to me. Because if you don't take a screenshot, then I don't have hard evidence that you had an error, and then I can't give you the points. But if you show me the screenshot, if you don't know what is a screenshot, look it up. I think most of you know that word. I'm sure many of you do. And how do you say screenshot in Spanish? Captura de
In
pantalla.
Spanish, you would say,
Captura de pantalla.
Captura de pantalla. Captura de pantalla. She has a nice voice. I actually used that same joke in another class, so don't tell. I think it was 11th grade. Don't tell 11th grade I used that same joke. No, I think I said that in the first video for you guys. I was like, she has a nice voice. All right, take a screenshot and send it to me if you have an error, and then you can send it to me over WhatsApp if you have my number. If you don't have my number, I don't like to give out my number on the internet, or I don't like to give out my number in general. Email me, I prefer actually. Let's just make it, actually, let me say this. If you have a tech error, you need to email me with the screenshot and your assignment, and then I can give you points that way. Sound good? Next, we're gonna say L. Most of you in 10th grade, maybe all of you, are already using your legal name in Google Classroom. If you're not, let me wait 1 second. Let me check how much time we've been going for. It's been 10 minutes. If you're not using your legal name, please change your Google account to your legal name, or basically your legal name, so that grading is easy and it's easy to search for you in Google Classroom. And because Google Classroom is now our school, so we need to be professional like that. All right, good. Next thing, some of you, I'm going to show you a video in a second. I'm going to say attach A for attachments. Now, when you turn in an assignment like you need to do before 10 p.m. every day that we have class in physics, you need to not only attach it, but also turn it in. So watch this video on the left to show you, here's this screen capture of my screen capture video of my phone showing you what you need to do to actually turn it in. So here's my example class. Here's an example assignment. So click on your work down here, add attachment, take a photo, and then here's just an example assignment. Take the photo. Now I will tell you that this video, after I did this, it took forever to load, so I'm gonna wait for it, fast forward, see how long that took, because my Wi-Fi was slow when I took that video. All right, now let's go here. Now, after you add the attachment, you're not finished. And on my side in Google Classroom, it shows that you have not turned it in. It actually says missing. I can see your assignment, but it says missing. So you cannot get credit if you haven't turned it in. So after you do this, then on your phone, tap turn in. So watch this. And then it'll ask you what attachment we submitted, say turn in, and wait for it. Then it'll say work submitted. Then you know that your work is done for that day. So don't forget that. All right. Next point. There were some of my students who submitted their work for the first assignment at like 10:05. One person I think was at 10 o'clock exactly. I decided to give you guys points for the first assignment because we're just getting used to Google Classroom. But starting with class 78 today, I will not accept your assignment if you turn it in after 10. You'll get a 0. And remember, every assignment, or basically every assignment that we have, has similar instructions and is a Quizlet that goes into the formula. So every assignment is very important and will affect your grade. Unless we had like 100, unless we have so many assignments in the future, so many Quizlets that maybe one Quizlet would leave your average the same. But basically every Quizlet is important because it contributes to the formula. It factors in, as we would say. Next point, unrelated submission. I have some good news for everyone, except for the people that got class 76 Quizlet correct. If you got class 76 Quizlet correct, I have bad news for you. Everyone else, I have good news. My news is I'm giving everyone the credit for the class 76 Quizlet because this is my message for 10A. I told you in the description that I will tell you in the video. 10B never took the class 76 Quizlet, and I can't give it to you now virtually because it's too easy to cheat. No offense, but some people, I don't know who, I know some people want to cheat because it's easier. Don't be offended. I'm not talking to anyone specifically. So if you got the class 76 Quizlet wrong or right, now you have it right in the grade book. So congratulations. Now, you guys, I don't remember how many people in 10th grade, but some people sent me the wrong process for the quadratic formula example problem in our last class online. the class that was titled Introduction to Online Learning with Mr. Randy, something like that. You guys, I gave you the process at 2 o'clock that day, and you could have watched the video on YouTube. So I don't know why you got it wrong because I gave you the process, and then you sent me the wrong process that day. So just remember that you never have an excuse to get it wrong because I gave you the process. My hope, as I mentioned before, is that you'll always do the process yourself and really try hard until you really feel the strain on your brain so that you're learning. If you can't get an answer or you just want to check your answers, my pattern and my goal is to give you the process every day. Every day we have class at 2 p.m. So then you have between 2 p.m. and 10 p.m. to check your answer and turn it in. Okay, so don't send me any more incorrect processes. Unless you want to lose the point. I mean, you can if you want. I'm a pretty nice teacher now online because I make it not necessarily easy to get the points, but I make it very achievable because sometimes, processes will be long on certain worksheets, but I give you the resources to, I give you the process. So you're welcome. But make sure that you understand it because eventually, hopefully, you'll be taking an exam on much of this information. All right, what else? Now, this class is class 78. Now, the reason this is class 78, I know that 10A already had class 78. 10B did not already have this class. So 10A, just so you know, the homework tonight, the homework for today that you need to send to me before 10 p.m., same as 10B, is the worksheet that I already gave you guys 10A. So you'll see that attached to this assignment on Google Classroom. And again, it's a topic that it's Archimedes principle and buoyant force, which are both basically the same thing. Archimedes principle is just a more formal way of describing the science of buoyant force. And it's probably a single formula that corresponds to Archimedes principle, but really this topic we're calling Archimedes principle. So if you already finished that worksheet, then make sure to check my process at 2 o'clock today to make sure that all of your processes are correct before you turn it in, because you have to have your worksheets, correct, obviously, or why should you get credit? Because these are Quizlets, technically. 10B, you don't have to worry, even though we talked a little bit about this topic in 10A during class 78. This is using formulas and concepts and formulas and concepts that you guys have already learned in our past discussions and lectures on Archimedes principle. So no worries. For that reason, I don't have too much instruction to give this hour. But now that we're starting a new system, there's lots of housekeeping items to discuss. But I'm almost done. Let's see. As I mentioned in the first video, I'm basically done, guys, but let me just say a couple more things. It's been 18 minutes, and then I'll be done, and then you can start working on your worksheet. Now, in the first video, I told you guys that if you can print a worksheet, David, I think you're in Tegus right now, last I heard, and you sent me your worksheet. I'm not gonna embarrass you. Just forget it. I guess I already embarrassed you because I mentioned your name. But you can take it. You're a strong boy and you're a good boy. So, my point is, in the first video that I gave you guys online, the introduction, I said that I do not allow you to print the worksheets and then do the worksheet on the printed page and then send it to me. The reason I said that is because not everyone has a printer and I want everyone to be working the same amount. So you guys need to send me all of your worksheets that I give you online, actually the work in your notebook, not on a printed page, except for today, class 78. 10A, you guys already have that worksheet, so I will let you send me your picture of your process on the worksheet. 10B, too bad, so sad for you. You don't have the worksheet, so you have to send me your process in your notebook. And with that, I'm basically finished. I'm not going to repeat. Actually, I will. I'll just repeat. Look on our Google Classroom stream at 2 o'clock p.m. today for the solutions to our worksheet to make sure that you're correct. And don't forget to turn in your worksheet before 10 p.m. tonight. And that's everything. I will see you guys. Today's Wednesday. So I'll see you. Today is Thursday. Did I say did I say that today's Wednesday earlier? It's because I'm recording this on Wednesday, and you can see that the time is 11:19. I won't tell you if it's PM or AM. You can just guess. Tomorrow's Thursday, but like when you're listening to this, it's Thursday. So our next class is tomorrow, Friday. That's going to be March 20th at 10 o'clock a.m. So I will see you guys Friday at 10 a.m. for our next class. That's everything. Peace out.